By the way, guys, make sure you all are hitting that like button, please, and thank you. It helps the stream with its algorithm. Right now, we got 1,100 watching right now, so let's make sure the likes are much past 1,100, guys. Come on, let's get the likes up so that we can get in the algorithm. We've been out of the algorithm this whole, the whole past week, so let's try to get back in the algorithm. Oval Office says, in this corner we have the Funk Logic, Muslim body snatcher. God bless. Oh man, so funny. All right, so he's not connecting. Again, if you are a non-Muslim, you are welcome to. I'm sorry. If you are a Muslim, you're welcome to come up.
What's up, brother?
What's up, Ahmed?
What's up, big brother?
Nothing.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you, bro. Nice to see you.
I hope you're as peaceful and as smart as always. I hope your brain cells are safe from these dumb Muslims.
So far, man. So far, so good. So far, so good. We've just had a good guest.
Let me change my place. I'll come back.
Okay. All right, gonna also drop the link for the YouTube viewers. So if you're watching on YouTube and you are a mu'min, you too are welcome to join. You're welcome to join. So let me go ahead and drop this in for you.
All right, I'm back. So here's my question.
Yeah.
Do you know Gog and Magog?
Not in detail. Not me.
Right. Are they really mentioned in the Bible? Because I never saw a verse.
Again, like
specifically,
I think so. I think they're mentioned in the Book of Revelation. I'm not exactly sure, bro. I haven't studied. I haven't studied Gog and Magog. I haven't studied that.
But are you like the sign of the judgment? Are you like sign of judgment in Christianity?
I don't know. Like I said, I do not know. I haven't studied that. I have not studied Gog and Magog, so I don't know. I do remember, I believe, seeing something in Revelation, but I don't remember the context. I don't know.
It's all right. Anyways, my second question is a bit more personal for you.
All right, so go ahead.
You're a Discord server on your bio. I joined your server and I didn't know what was going on. What is it likely? Because I haven't got my answer from the mods.
Oh, that's hold on, it's kind of loud back there. So, but I'm not on that. That's not mine. Sister Isabel, and a few others, they run that. It's a place to draw Christians and draw people who have questions, and so a lot of people are in there, sharing information and stuff. I am rarely in there, so. But I'm just sharing it as a place where people can go to and kick it and share information and stuff.
Oh, that's okay. I would like you to continue on the live, but can I stay in mic for the entire live if I can? I won't ask any more questions if I don't have any. I'll just stay in mic.
Sure, you can stay. You can stay. All right, let's see here who we've got. So, guys, if you're watching on YouTube and you want to join the panel, you are welcome to come up and join. The link is right there. It's pinned at the top in the YouTube, so you guys can come on up. All right. Let's see here. I've got a few people trying to come. How you doing?
My first question is, do you follow the Bible? Or are you a Muslim?
My first question to you, my brother, is how are you? How are you doing? How's your day?
I'm okay, thank you.
Good. I do follow the Bible. I'm a Bible believer.
Okay, right. Okay, that's okay. So my question is now, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you.
That's good. So can I ask you, what did Christ come to teach us?
Before we do, are you a Muslim or?
No, I believe I follow the Bible.
Okay, so this is for the Muslims to come up and join us, my friend.
Yeah, but isn't it important? Because in Acts chapter 3, verse 22 and 23, it tells you Moses prophesied of Yeshua, and anyone who doesn't listen to him, the soul is going to be destroyed. So what did Moses prophesy he was coming to do then? Because clearly he's quite important, because anyone who doesn't listen is going to be destroyed. Just
That's
like
right.
when the
That's
Pharisees
why.
were railing.
Hold on, my brother. That's why I'm inviting Muslims to come up so I can introduce them to Jesus. All right. So I'm going to bring up the Muslims and just enjoy, my brother. Pray for me as I go and in the gospel. Okay. All right. Let's see. Is there anybody? All right. So I got YouTube. Yes. All right. So I see everybody that's in there. Joseph, I see you. You were first. Joseph, can you put in the private chat for me, confirm that you're a Muslim? Everybody that has come up, Benny, Abraham, SYR, I think I remember you from last time. But just in case, just go ahead and confirm for me that you guys are Muslim in the chat. GTG. No, I'm not a Muslim, but I wanted to ask you something. Okay, so just you said okay. I'll try to check that, but this is for. I mean, the link says Muslims only, Joseph. The link says only Muslims. Come on, guys. Come on, man. It's all good, all good. Benny Abraham. All right. Switching over to YouTube. We're gonna see how this goes.
Wait, are you also live on
Hold on.
YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Benny Abraham, how are you? Oh, you're a Christ believer. Just okay. So guys, seriously, man, this is ridiculous. I didn't open the street. I didn't send the link for Christians to join. It literally says Muslims only. Why are you guys joining if you're not Muslim?
Hello.
How you doing? Are you a Muslim?
Yeah, I am Muslim.
Welcome. Are you Sunni, Shia, Ahmadi? What are you?
I'm Sunni.
Sunni Muslim. Okay, nice. Did you have a question?
Yeah. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 29.
Oh, you look young.
Thanks.
Yeah, I have a question regarding the Trinity. Can you explain the Trinity?
What's your confusion?
Because it's a little bit of confusing that you said three people in one person, when three people in one being. So can you explain it to me a little bit detail?
Okay, hold on, just 1 second. All right, someone says on the asking about Gog and Magog, but don't unmute, Ahmed. Don't unmute because it'll create feedback here. But someone says Ezekiel chapter 38 and 39, the war of Gog and Magog. It isn't related to today's times. It's specifically related to post-tribulation and post-millennial reign of Christ events. So Ezekiel chapter 38, the book of Ezekiel chapter 38 and 39 references it. So that's just a little point there. All right. So you said that it doesn't make sense to you that there are three persons that share one nature?
Yeah. It's confusing. I mean, it's just confusing.
Okay. So I think that maybe understanding the difference between personhood and being or nature, understanding the distinction between that, I think that could probably help us. So when we say God is one being in three persons. Obviously, we're not saying the same thing. These are two different categories. A being is what a thing is, the state of existence, right? Personhood is a conscious agent, right, with the ability to choose, act, has emotions, has a will, a mind, right?
Okay.
So what we're saying is that there are three persons that are within the nature of God, right? The being of God exists, and he exists as three distinct persons. And he's infinitely higher than us. We as human beings, we are one person for each human being, right? Each human being is one person, right? A rock is a being, but has no persons. It's not a person at all. A rock is a being, but it has no person, right? When we talk about God, we're saying God, the divine being, he is three persons. So if you have a follow-up question on that, you can go ahead and ask.
Okay, so you're saying they're equal. The three person are distinct and they're equal.
Yeah, they are equal ontologically. They are equal in their essence. So what they are equal as God.
They are all God and they are equal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they are. So they are equal in which sense they are equal?
In nature, they're equal in nature, in essence, in their being, they're equal. So they're eternal. They're all eternal. They're all knowing. They are all powerful. They're judge of the heavens and the earth. That's the sense in that they're equal.
So, but I think I have written in the Bible where Jesus says the Father is greater than I.
Yeah, he says the Father is. He says you should be happy because I'm going back to the Father. For the
Yeah,
Father is
where
greater than I. So in what sense is the Father greater than him? He's
yeah.
greater than him when it comes to like his role and authority and status, because Jesus took on the form of a servant to serve the Father. When he took on flesh, he came down to take on flesh and walks amongst us. The Bible says that although he was in the form of God, he did not count equality with God something he needed to hold on to, but emptied himself, made himself of no reputation, and humbled himself by taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men. So the Father is greater than Jesus in the sense that he submits to the Father's authority. He took the form of a servant to the Father.
So Jesus became human.
That is correct. He took on human
So
flesh. So he's both God and man at the same time. Both, he has the divine nature and he has a human nature. They're both united in the person of Christ.
so the human nature is limited and the God nature is unlimited.
Say that again.
The human nature is limited and the God nature is unlimited, right?
Yes. There's human limitations, but the divine nature has no limitations. Yes.
So how can you be limited and unlimited at the same time? I mean, how can both be together?
Well, how? I don't know, but I can only tell you what it is. When you have the divine nature that is unlimited, and then you have human nature that is limited, they're united in a person. It would be different if we're saying that the divine nature is limited and unlimited at the same time. That would be a contradiction. It's impossible. But having the divine nature that's unlimited and having a human nature that's limited, that's perfectly fine. It's not a logical contradiction there when it's united
But
in the
you
person of the
you
Son.
say, but you said the human nature and the God nature is united. So if they are united, it means that God nature unlimited being and the human nature limited being is united. So if they are united, then it both cannot be. Jesus cannot be limited and unlimited at the same time, right?
So what I want to make sure it's clear what I'm saying. When I said that they are united in the person of Christ. So the person of Christ, he has both natures. He has both natures. He's fully God, fully divine, and he's fully man. So pertaining to his human nature has limitations. Pertaining to his divine nature is unlimited. And he can do that. He's God. He can take on a human nature without it diluting his divine nature, you know? Like the two natures, they don't mix. They're united in the person, but they don't mix in together. Like the human nature doesn't become a little bit more divine now, or the divine nature becomes less. No, that's not what happens. They don't mix. They are united in the person of Christ.
So if Christ has that unlimited power that he was God, so he cannot have a limitation because he is God, right?
Pertaining to his divine nature. Remember, again, yes, pertaining to his divine nature, he's unlimited. Pertaining to his human nature, he's limited. He walks, instead of teleports. He opens doors with his hands instead of just appearing in them. That's what he freely limited himself to do. If he wanted to, he could, like predicate, some things of the divine nature, I guess to his human nature. Like for example, you see him after his resurrection, where he's free from human limitations now, right? He doesn't limit himself anymore to human limitations. But so you see Jesus appearing in closed rooms, where he was not before, but then boom, he appears. Or you see him walking with his disciples, and they can't recognize him, right? Even though he's walking with them, they can't recognize, they don't know, they think they're talking to a completely different man. And then he opens their minds and they can see him now, right? They see him for who he is. So you have these examples where post-resurrection of Christ, you see that he doesn't limit himself to those limitations anymore, although still possessing both natures.
So he has both nature and he can use that nature, right? Any one of the nature wherever he wants, whenever he wants.
Well, that's just who he is. So yes, he can do whatever he wants.
So you said God can do anything, right? He can be limited and unlimited both at the same time because he is God, right?
He can take on a human nature and therefore have a nature that is unlimited and a nature that is limited. And that doesn't contradict. So yes.
So can be both at the same time? Can both nature act at the same time?
Can what? Can both what?
Can he can act on both nature at the same time?
Well, natures don't do anything, right? It's persons that do things. So natures don't act. They just are what they are. It's persons that do things. So whatever actions God does, he does. Now he can think there will be things pertaining to that there will be things that are true of one particular nature that he may speak of and do or whatever. And there's things that he will speak of and do that's true pertaining to the divine nature, So the incarnation, it's a special thing. The how is, I don't know the how. I don't know how exactly that works.
It's
But
something like mysterious nature, right? It's a mysterious thing.
Yeah, there is an element of a mystery to it. However, the truth of it is revealed to us.
But I think Corinthians 14:33 says God is not the author of confusion.
Yeah, there's a difference between there being a mystery to it and it being confusing. I'm not confused about the incarnation. I acknowledge that there's elements that I can't explain that go beyond my understanding, but I'm not.
That is a confusion.
I'm not confused about it. No, it's not.
Well, if I don't know the how,
are you wait?
then I'm confused.
Are you a Muslim? You're a Muslim, right? You said.
Yeah, I said I'm a Muslim.
Yeah.
Previously, I said to you that I'm a Muslim.
Would you agree that there are elements of God's nature, Allah's nature, that you don't understand?
It is called sifat, the attributes of God.
So,
You know sifat?
Yeah, the attributes.
You know sifat? Okay. Yeah, you know that.
So there's elements of his attributes, let's say, that go beyond your understanding. Would you agree?
No, but because I understand the attributes of the God, He's all loving, He's all merciful. We know the meaning of the merciful because we know the attributes of God because He
What?
has described Himself.
Okay, so you know what it you understand completely what all mercifulness is.
Yeah, merciful means the one who shows mercy.
Yeah, but you know what all merciful is. Like you can comprehend what all merciful is.
I didn't say all merciful. I said He's merciful.
Oh, okay. So he's just merciful. He's not all merciful, or let's say most
All
merciful.
what do
Because
you mean by all merciful, right?
yeah, sorry, yeah, the Quran calls him most merciful. He's the most merciful. You know what
Yeah,
that means?
most merciful,
Most
not all
merciful.
merciful. It's the most merciful.
Okay. What about would you consider like his shin or his hands that those are attributes of him?
Yeah, these are the attributes of God.
And do you believe that he really has a shin and really has hands, or how do you
But
interpret
he
that?
don't have he don't have the shin like you have, like we have the shin. You don't have a hand like you have, right?
So then what is the shin that he has?
He has a shin of completely different type
How do you know that?
because it is described that Allah's shin is not the type of the shin of a human being.
So then how do you
It's
know what the shin?
completely different.
Well, no, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say that his shin is completely different from a human being's shin. You're imposing that. How do you know what?
Because
Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. So I'm saying that his shin is not like human being, like we have shin bone, right? He don't have a shin like we have the shin bone.
How do you know? What's a shin?
Shin bone is it's shin bone that we have in our leg.
Yeah. So if he says that he has a shin, and we know what a shin is, just like for example, he's merciful. You said I know
Right.
what mercy is. So yes, I understand that. Well, you know what a shin is, but when Allah says he has a shin, you're saying, oh well, no, it's not like what you understand a shin to be.
Yeah.
How, do you see the inconsistency there?
Yeah.
So
But I want to say something that you say it's about shin, the attributes of God. It is the shin because uh, the Jesus, on the other hand, is different because it is the basic belief of Christianity, like that Jesus incarnate as a human form, right? It is the basic belief of
mhm.
Christianity. But to order to be Christian, you have to believe that Jesus incarnate as human form and he took the flesh and he was God and human both, right?
Well, yeah, but we're talking about the principle of mystery here. Like there's when it comes to like the incarnation, I acknowledge that there's a element of mystery to it. That doesn't mean that I'm confused about it. But you said
Okay, I understand what you're saying now.
you understand what I'm saying? Okay, cool. Yeah. So there being an element of mystery to the incarnation, like there's a level to where I can understand and explain it, but really the how and the mode intricately, I can't. There's, that's beyond me. But I'm not confused about it. I accept it, and I know that it's of God. There are some things that we can't explain. It's of God's nature.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
So you said, can you give me the verse where in the Bible where it gives you the information that Jesus is God?
Yeah, sure. So we have verses like, let me
Let me write it down. Can you wait a second? I will write it down. I'm gonna read it.
okay.
Okay, go ahead.
So you have, for example, you have Romans chapter 9, verse 5.
Okay.
You have Titus chapter 2,
Okay.
verse 13.
Okay. Go ahead.
You have John chapter 1, verse 1.
Okay. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. All right.
You got it. You combine that with verse 14 of the
Okay.
same chapter. So John chapter 1, verses 1 and verse 14.
Okay.
There's a lot, but just a few. That's just a few I'll give you.
Okay. So let's talk about John 1:1. Right.
Okay. Oh, my bad. So there's one more. There's let me give you just one more. There's Revelation.
Revelation.
Chapter 22.
Chapter 22.
Verse 13.
What does it say?
Jesus says that he is the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last.
I think it was a dream of the John. I think
It's a vision.
a vision, right? Vision.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not Jesus saying it's the vision of the John, right? Yeah.
No, it's Jesus saying it. Jesus comes
But
to
it
him.
was the vision of the John.
Yeah, vision is revelation.
Yeah. So Jesus says, "I am the Alpha, the Omega. I am the first and the last. I am the beginning and the end." Right.
Yes.
So what does the word Alpha and Omega means?
So Alpha and Omega is referring to the first and last letters of the alphabet.
Okay. Okay. So it is eternal, meaning is
Exactly.
eternal, right?
Yes, exactly. Means
Oh, okay.
eternal. He's infinite. He never came into existence, and he will never cease to exist.
But I think Milky, for example, in the Bible, according to Hebrews chapter 7, does not have any beginning or the end.
Oh no, that's talking about his record. It talks about how he appears out of nowhere, how there's no record of his birth, no ending,
But
no
he has
record.
also no beginning or the end, right?
No, he was born and he died, but they just don't know when. So since it's talking about in that context, talking about his priesthood and talking about how a priesthood ends with a priesthood and a covenant ends with the person that made it when they die. Now, because with Melchizedek, it says, well, they don't have a beginning of his days, nor ending of his life, nor a mother or a father. They don't have his genealogy. They don't have a record of this. So that's why his priesthood still remains, because there's no record of his death.
But it says that Milky is eternal.
No, it doesn't.
I can show you.
Okay. Yeah, show me where it says
Open Hebrews chapter 7, verse 1 to 3.
You said Hebrews 1?
Hebrews chapter 7, verse 1 to 3.
Oh, Hebrews 7. Yeah. It doesn't say he's eternal here, bro. I know
it means he's eternal, right?
I just broke it down to you. So explain to me what I just
You said that they have no record of Milky's or its genealogy.
Can you hear me?
Right?
Okay, sorry. Yeah. My computer just did something weird, but okay, yeah. So sorry, say that again.
I'm saying that you said that they have no record of Milky's of his beginning or the end. They have no record. You said
correct. So notice the difference. Jesus says that I am the beginning and I am the end, the first and the last, the Alpha and Omega. Here in Hebrews 7, it doesn't say that Melchizedek is the beginning and he is the end. It just says there is no beginning of his days nor ending of his life, no genealogy. There's no record of it. So it doesn't call him. It doesn't call him the beginning and the end.
So you are saying that they have no record, right?
Yeah.
But it does not say in the Bible that they have no record.
That's what the context says.
It says, he blessed Abraham when he was returning from the war, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it does not say that they have no record. It says he has no beginning or the beginning of the days or end of the days. It means he's eternal. Beginning of the days, it clearly means that he's eternal.
It says he is without father or mother or genealogy, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but resembling the Son of God. He continues a priest forever. You see that?
Right.
See how great this man it was, to whom Abraham, the patriarch, gave a tenth of the spoils.
He was also the Son of God.
So do you see here? Do you see here how it says, how it's talking about his genealogy and how because of this, he remains a priest forever since there's no ending of his days. It's called context. Now, here's my question to you. Does it say that he is the beginning and the end?
It says he has no beginning or the end.
Does it? No, it doesn't. It says he has no beginning of days. He is without father or mother or genealogy, having neither beginning of days nor end of life. Do you see that?
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm
talking about his record, but resembling the Son of God, he continues a priest forever. Do you see how this is in relation to his priestly order?
Yeah, he's priest forever.
Right. So all of this is in context in his priestly order. A priesthood ends when the person dies. Since they don't know when he dies, there's no record of his death, his priesthood remains. So we see a stark difference between
So is
the
Jesus the
context of
Melchizedek?
surrounding Melchizedek and then what Jesus blatantly and explicitly says, I am the beginning and the end. I am the first, I am the last. I am Alpha and I am Omega. It's two different things.
So most of the Christians say that Jesus is Melchizedek.
No, they don't.
I've listened to so many Christians that say that Melchizedek, Jesus is Melchizedek.
To say that most is wrong. I do acknowledge that there are some Christians that have an understanding like that. I disagree with that because it says that he resembles the Son of God. He's not the Son of God himself.
So Melchizedek is also called the Son of God, right?
No. It says that he
Said
resembles the Son of
resembling the Son of God.
Yeah. So just to be clear, we see how Jesus claims to be God in Revelation, right? Beginning and end, first and the last, the Alpha and the Omega.
Well, I think Jeremiah is also claimed to be eternal.
Well, that's fine, but can we just focus on this claim here that I am the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last? Can we come to an understanding together that he's claiming to be God there?
He's claiming to be eternal, right?
So he's claiming to be God?
He's claiming to be eternal.
So is he claiming to be God when he says he's the first and the last, the beginning and the end, the Alpha and Omega? Simple question, bro.
He's not claiming to be God. He's claiming to be eternal.
Got it. Who's the first and the last?
The first and the last.
Yeah, who is that?
The God.
Okay, so if Jesus says that he's the first and the last, who is he claiming to be?
Jesus is claiming to be God according to the Bible, but Jeremiah is also claiming to be first and the last.
All right, show me.
It's
Show me the verse where Jeremiah says he's
I
the
have to
first.
find it. Wait a second. I have to find it.
Sure, no problem. In the meantime, as he's getting that, guys, make sure you guys hit the like button for me. Hit that like button. We're about to see where.
If I go to
yeah, take your time, bro.
finding it, I can be disconnected, right?
Take your time. Take your time. It's okay. We got time.
I'm coming right now. Okay.
Avery, personal question. Do you believe the rapture is pre-tribulation or post-tribulation? I believe that the second coming of Christ is post-tribulation. That's where I stand right now. Am I dogmatic about it? No, but that's just where I stand right now. So we got Ali Pedro who says Muhammad permitted Muslims to lie. Sahih Muslim 6303, Bukhari 49, semicolon 857. Sahih Muslim 6303. Jesus said, "You shall not lie." Matthew 19:18. Interesting. Shama, I'll bring you up pretty soon. Make sure you guys hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. I believe Muslims pretend not to understand this. I agree. I believe that Muslims play dumb. I don't think they are dumb or this stuff actually goes over their head. I believe they play dumb. They play dumb when it comes to these concepts because everybody else gets it except them. So, Jonah, please put in the chat if you are a Muslim. Confirm for me, please. In the meantime, let's go ahead and bring up. Jonah, please put in the chat if you are. Oh, SYR, you gotta mute YouTube because you'll have an echo. You have to mute YouTube for me. SYR. You gotta mute YouTube. You'll have an echo. You're on stage, SYR. You gotta mute YouTube. You're on stage. You gotta mute YouTube. There you go. Dang, you typing fast, man. Can you hear me? SY. I can't hear. My headset is charging. Oh, so you're not ready yet. Mr. Singe, are you a Muslim? Mr. Singe. Dahram Sinj.
Are you talking to me, bro? Can you hear me? Do I need to respond in the chat? Okay, I'm on stage.
You're on stage, but I see your response, so it's only Muslim.
I'm a Sikh, bro, but all the goats in your chat demanded I come up.
Don't listen to them. Don't listen to what's on what the stream says. It says only Muslims, so don't listen to them. All right. Jonah, are you a Muslim? Put it in the chat for me. I can't hear you. You got to put it in the chat. Put it in the private chat right here. It should be right here. Everybody hit that like button so we can bring up the next guest. Someone said, sing the intermission song while he's looking, please. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome back, Ali.
Thank you. All right. Do you have any like certain objection, or do you want like a objection from us, or how's the stream going today?
Hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I had to ban somebody real quick. Oh, so you asked if I'm asking a question, or do I have a particular?
Or do you want me to ask a question to like, you know?
Yeah, you can ask something. Let me read this super chat out first, and then you can ask your question. Bring your
Okay. I know.
Today, after praying for opportunities to witness, I saw a Muslim reading the Quran, and after our combo, I got him to admit he sees problems in his belief. Keep doing God's work and pray he comes to Christ. I learned so much. God bless you. That is amazing. Unknown instrumentals. That's awesome that you're out there being a vessel being used by the Lord for his kingdom. Keep it up, guys. We need more of you guys out here learning this material and then going out to evangelize. It's amazing. God bless you, brother. Okay, what's your question, Ali?
I mean, you're so experienced in you've been to Speaker's Corner, you've probably heard like a billion arguments. So if I say something, you've probably heard it before. So I'm going to be like more genuine with my questions. I want to see how you respond to them.
I hope you're genuine.
I think I am genuine. I mean, like, I know he's your friend, but I'd rather have a conversation with you than Sam. But anyways, so especially in 1 Samuel 15:3, I think you've heard that argument before, right? Where you would believe that Jesus is the God of the Old Testament. Okay, then why in 1 Samuel 15:3 is the all merciful Jesus, according to you, commanding genocide of infants, babies, and
I don't believe he's all merciful.
Do you believe that it's okay to command genocide of babies?
I believe. Wait, hold on. Okay. I believe that God can give life and he can take away life as he wills. I also believe that God is just and he does things for a reason. Like, for example, the Amalekites who sinned against him and attacked Israel shortly after they escaped Egypt and tried to take advantage of the old and young. Then God sends his judgment out on Amalek and says that he's going to wipe them from the face of the earth. So because of their sin, he then casts his judgment on them, which is wiping them out. Is God wrong for casting his judgment on a nation that's sinful?
I mean, but surely, like, these infants weren't like responsible for that sin. I mean, would you say that they were? Like,
but hold on.
Read out the verse.
We'll get to the infants. You don't have to read it. We know what the verse says. I'm just asking a simple question. Do you have a problem? Do you have a problem? It's okay. It's okay. Do you have a problem with God casting out his judgment on an entire nation, children included?
No, I don't have a problem with that.
Then you don't have a problem with 1 Samuel 15:3.
Well, I think what it proves is that it is not God's judgment, because I think we'd agree to. Sorry?
You don't think that that's God's judgment? Why not? Why don't you think that you're saying that God, when he casts judgment on a nation, that he wouldn't, like, the children won't be involved in that?
He wouldn't command genocide by people to do that. I don't think so.
Of what?
He wouldn't command a genocide of people going to kill infants. I don't think he would.
Okay.
I mean, that's from my part. I mean, maybe you believe that, and it's not a refutation.
Well, I just want
to clarify. It's not like you could believe that, and you can be like, Christianity is true, God commanded this, right, and justify it. And this is not mainly a defeater of Christianity. It's not like, oh, Christianity is false. I just want to see how you would reconcile with it. Because if
Okay,
God
cool.
came to, right, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So since you have a problem with this in my paradigm. So when God flooded the world, did were children like involved in that? Did children get drowned or what?
For us, it was not the world flooding. It was like a local flood.
Okay. So were there children who, when he flooded the nation, were there children that drowned?
Yeah, there were.
So it looks like even you believe that God wipes out a nation, including the infants, including the children. So if you're going to come against the Bible when God casts his judgment on a nation, which includes the children, then you have to cast out Allah in the Quran. You have a problem with Allah in the Quran.
Do you see the distinction between God causing a natural event to wipe out a nation, whereas God commanding his servants to actually like kill other individuals, especially to kill infants? You don't see the difference?
No, tell me the difference. I don't see
So
any
if
difference.
so, if God takes the life of an infant versus you taking the life of an infant, you don't see any difference.
At whose command?
Still at God's command, but you are the agent actually slaughtering the infant. You think that's okay?
So who's the one responsible for the infant dying? Me or God?
I mean, if God is commanding it. I mean, it would be God, yeah, ultimately.
All right, so there's no difference. There's absolutely no difference. Whether he destroys a nation, including the children, with a natural disaster, or he sends an army to go and wipe out people, it's still him. It's by his hand that this happens.
I think that's a fair point. Yeah.
So, so now this is where the difference is, though, with Christianity and Islam with this. In Christianity, those children who die because of the nation's the wrath of God that happens upon a nation, the children, the infants who die in the process go back to God. They go to heaven straight away. But in Islam, that's not the case. Some may go to hell, some may go to heaven.
That's not true. For anyone who is an infant or prepubescent, then they're automatically granted Jannah. They're not responsible for their sins.
You want to know what? Aisha said the same thing. Aisha, Muhammad's wife, said the same thing. That a baby or a child who is prepubescent, hasn't even reached the age to sin, is a bird of paradise. You want to know who corrected her? Want to know who corrected her?
Tell me, give me the reference.
Muhammad, man. Muhammad told his wife, he said, hold up, baby, slow down. Wait a minute. It might be otherwise. Because God created for paradise those who are to go to paradise. And he created them for paradise before they were in their father's loin. And he created for hell those who are to go to hell. He created them for hell before they were in their father's loins.
Can you give the reference for that, please?
Of course, Habib. Of course, I got you.
Thank you.
Of course, man. Let's pull up the hadith. Aisha, peradventure. Hold on, Aisha, slow down.
I also have another question, if that's all right, too.
Yep. Once we finish this, you can ask the next question. Oh, let me put this on the screen for us.
Alrighty.
Wait, I'm tripping. Put that on the entire screen for us. See, Aisha had the same idea that you had, man. Look, watch this. So, Sahih Muslim 2662C. Aisha, the mother of the believers, said that Allah's messenger was called to lead the funeral prayer of a child of the Ansar. I said, so this is Aisha talking, Allah's messenger, there is happiness for this child, who is a bird from the birds of paradise. For it committed no sin, nor has he reached the age when one can commit sin. Said the same thing you said, right? Kids who are prepubescent, who are underage, obviously they're innocent, they haven't committed sin, nor are they old enough to commit sin. They go straight to heaven. That's what you said. She says the same thing. Now, he said, so Muhammad says, Aisha, peradventure, stop, hold your horses. It may be otherwise. Why? Because God created for paradise those who are fit for it while they were yet in their father's loins, and created for hell those who are to go to hell. He created them for hell while they were yet in their father's loins. So some babies who die have been predestined to go to hell. Some babies who die have been predestined to go to heaven. But in the Bible, all babies who die, all children who die before their knowledge of good and evil, they get to go and be with God immediately, automatically. Jesus says this. He says, the kingdom of God belongs to the children. That's what Jesus says. And in Deuteronomy, before they enter the promised land, God is punishing the Israelites who didn't believe. He says, you're not going to be able to enter the promised land. You're going to die out here. But he says, but your children who do not know good and evil yet, who are not at the age who know good and evil yet, they get to go into the promised land. It's automatic in the Bible that they get to go into paradise in the New Testament and the Old. But in Islam, some go to hell, some go to heaven. Now, do you think that that's okay?
I mean, no, I'll definitely have to look into the hadith. I've never seen it before, so I'm gonna do my research. I'll come back to you. But yeah, I've never heard this hadith before. Some hadiths in, I'm not saying this is inauthentic. It might be authentic. Who knows? Some hadiths in, for example, Sahih Bukhari, like, are they're strong in their chain of narration, but they're weak in their wording. So maybe this was narrated in different wording. Maybe it is authentic, but I'll do my research on it.
Yeah, trust me, brother. It's authentic. Even the most argument of Muslim defenders acknowledge that this is authentic, man. There's no way around it. But I grant you said you never seen it before. You want to do your research. That's fair, that's humble, and that's honest. I love that. I'll ask you this last question on it, and I won't push anymore. We can go to your next question.
No worries.
But on this, would it be evil? Would it be wrong if God were to send babies to hell?
Would it be evil or wrong for God to send babies to hell?
Yes.
I mean, look, I'll give you like two answers. Like personally, like intuitively, like I would say yes, that's wrong, right? Like that's this thing. But like I would also say, for example, like God's judgment is absolute. Like God would command things that we cannot understand with our finite human knowledge, and you'd agree with the same. Like for example, when Abraham was commanded to slaughter his son, right? Like you would think that like any human being would say that's absolutely wrong, right? But like I think we're also limited in our ability to grasp some of God's wisdoms. But yeah, I would say short answer personally, yeah, I would think it would be wrong. So I'll do some more research on this hadith. And also the hadith is saying that like I'm granting you that based on what I'm reading right now, it is saying that it could be the case where a child is going to, it's not saying this specific child is going to the hellfire. So that's
like, true. It doesn't say the specific child is going to hellfire, but it's possible. But because he predestines. Hey. Yep, we can wrap this up. Wait, hold on, let me say hi to my friend, man. What's up, Dawood?
I'm just chilling, man. I'm just chilling. But I'll be in the background. You guys are having a good conversation. Just keep going, and then if you want me to jump in, let me know.
Okay, for sure. Well, feel free whenever you feel like it, so.
Yeah. No, you literally read my mind. I was literally, when the guy said the whole thing about the baby killing and stuff, I was literally thinking about the hadith. So do your thing, man. Do your thing.
All right. What's your next question, Ali? Thanks for being honest, by the way. I appreciate that. Thanks for being honest.
No worries. I'll do my research. If I'm ignorant on something, I'll do my research. I'll get back to you if I find an answer. But so far in every objection that I've heard to Islam, alhamdulillah, I found an answer. I don't think this one will be any different, but I'll come back to you. Okay. Especially, I think another one, and I think you probably heard this again and again, but I still haven't found an answer that I found satisfactory. So I'm going to push back on you when I hear it. And you've probably heard this a billion times too, but it's John 17:3, right?
Mhm.
Okay, and even if you go to John 17, 1-3, I still think there are problems, right? So, for example, when Jesus says, after Jesus said this, he looked toward the heaven and prayed, Father, the hour has come. Glorify your Son, that your Son may glorify you. For you granted him authority over all people, that he might give eternal life to all those you have given him. Now, this is eternal life, that they know you, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom you've sent. So I don't know anywhere else in the Bible where Jesus is called the only true God. That's a unique name to the Father. And
1 John chapter 5, verse 20,
where Jesus is called the only true God.
where he's called the true God.
Is the word only in there?
No, it doesn't have to be. There's only one true God.
We also know that the Son of God has come and given us understanding so that we may know him who is true, and we are in him who is true by being his Son, Jesus Christ. He is the true God and eternal life.
See that?
But see, the quote from Jesus in John 17, 1-3 is where Jesus himself is calling the Father the only true God. Where Jesus never makes an explicit statement about himself like that.
Well, no, there's only one true God, right? There's only one true God. Any other thing that claims to be God is a false God. There's only one true God. Jesus glorifying the Father and identifying him as true God is not a negation of him also being true God. He's not
But he says
saying
the only true God, though.
Yeah, there's only one true God. Notice how the word only modifies true God. It doesn't modify you. It doesn't say only you are the true God. It says you are the only true God. So it's true God that is modified, not you. So the Father isn't the only person. The Father isn't the only person that is true God, which is why we saw there that Jesus is also called the true God.
But even in that verse, there's like a clear distinction where it says, and Jesus Christ whom you've sent. So either if we take verse John 5:20, instead of saying that, I feel like you're forcing a reconciliation when it's more of an apparent contradiction.
What? Okay, all right. So let's go slowly, step by step. Does 1 John 5:20 say that Jesus is true God as well?
It does, yeah.
All right. So this is what we have. We have in 17:3, Jesus acknowledges the Father as true God. We have 1 John 5:20 that also acknowledges Jesus as true God. Now, this is what you can do. Either there's a contradiction here, and where Jesus and the Father are not true God, or there's Jesus is true God or Father is true God. So there's two different true gods there. You have a contradiction. Or the true God is multi-personal, is a trinity. So the Father is true God and the Son is also true God. The one true God is multi-personal.
Okay. The problem with that is that John 17:3 is explicitly negating Jesus Christ as God.
Where does it negate it? Where does it negate
in verse 3? That the only true God and Jesus Christ. There's a very big distinction.
How many true gods are there?
One, which is the Father, as according to John 17:1.
No, it doesn't. He doesn't just say that only the Father is the true God. There's only one true God. Okay, does it say only the Father?
Jesus is talking to the Father and saying, "You are the only true God."
What does it say? Only the Father? No. Does it say only the Father?
If he's talking to the Father and saying, "You are the only true God,"
sorry, let me be more clear. Does he say only you are the true God? Does he say only you?
Yes, that the only true.
All right, so hold on. Now I'm gonna put it on the stage. I'm gonna put it on the screen here. So hopefully we can be honest.
For example,
hold on.
Like for example, Avery, if I told you are the only good person.
Hold on here. So here it is. That they know you. The word only doesn't even appear in that phrase yet. Does it say that they know only you, the true God? Or does it say that they know you or only you? When does the word only pop up?
The only true
Before
God.
You or after you?
Okay. After you doesn't make a difference.
Right.
The
it does make it. So my friend, let me ask you this. Is it reconcilable that the true God is both the Father and the Son if the true God is multi-personal? Is that reconcilable?
It would be if it weren't for this verse.
Okay. So if the true God is multi-personal, then it doesn't go against Jesus when he says that the Father is true God, right?
Sorry, repeat that. I didn't catch on.
It doesn't, if the true God is multi-personal, then it doesn't go against Jesus when he says that the Father is true God as well, right?
I mean, maybe, but the verse is explicitly
do you
negating
mean maybe?
Jesus as the only true God. Like, wait, so if God is multi-personal, can Jesus be a God?
If God is multi-personal, then it's reconcilable that both the Father and the Son are true God together, correct?
No, like logically or like scripturally, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I would say, like, I'm not
Logically,
making the like.
when I'm saying reconciling, because you're posing this, you said that it's a contradiction.
Not a
So a
logical contradiction, a
contradiction
scriptural one.
is A and non-A,
I agree.
which that's not what it's saying. It's both and. It's not either or. It's not either the Father is the true God or Jesus is the true God. It's both and. Both Jesus and the Son are the true God. Now,
See, I'd agree
right
with
here,
that if it says that they know you, the true God, but the word only is very clear.
what
Here.
is
The
what
only
is
true
only
God.
what is only
Wait, give me
what
a
is
second.
only pertaining to, Ali? What is only pertaining to? Does it pertain
The
to true
Father?
God or does it pertain to you?
Yeah, you is the Father, so it pertains to
No,
the Father,
that
and
doesn't
then it
answer the
makes a
question. That
distinction
doesn't
of the
answer the
Father in
question.
Jesus
Ali,
Christ.
that doesn't answer
Go.
the question.
Yeah.
Does the word only, and I'm gonna ask this again and then we gotta move on. Does the word only, is it pertaining to true God or is it pertaining to you? Which word is it modifying?
Which word is it modifying? True God.
True
I'm
God. There
sorry.
you
It's
go. It's
and
modifying
you.
true God. It's not modifying you. So it doesn't say only you are the true God, right?
It's the same thing. It's literally the
Does it
exact same
say
thing
only
grammatically
you are
speaking.
the true God?
Should we do it with a different sentence and see like the difference?
Does it say only you are the true God?
Yes, it says that it's the same thing. It means the same thing. Avery, if I say
All right.
And when the
Can
disciples,
I get 1 minute with Halal? Is that possible? I didn't want to break your flow. Can I get 1 minute with Halal, homie?
sure.
Just one. Just one. Halal,
are you
homie.
listening by the way? Or
Halal, homie. Sorry. Your time is limited. So I'm just gonna have to tell you something very quickly. So halal, homie. When you read the words of Jesus in any of the gospel accounts, I find it is very important to read the full extent of what Jesus is saying to capture the full context. If you're going to hyper focus only on just one line and try to ignore the remainder of his teachings in favor of just hyper focusing on a singular line, you're going to lose the essence of what he's saying. When you read the entirety of John 17, even just from verse 1 to 10, you will not get the idea that in any sense Jesus is not God. So even if you are only going to focus on number 3, why not also focus on 5? When it's supposed to be about pre-existent glory. So unless you're going to admit somehow that the entirety of John 17 is one giant contradiction, where in some senses Jesus is divine and in other senses he's not, then it might be proper to maybe read the entirety of John 17 and see what Jesus is communicating to you, as opposed to misreading a single line.
no problem. Okay, thank you. But like also here, just really quickly, if I want to end off on this. If I say, for example, right, like the only true good person, you, Avery. Or if I say, Avery, the only true good person, they both mean the same thing. So by saying what is it assigned to, it means the same thing based on the verse, no matter where you place
So
that only.
in that
So I
in that
think that verse,
sentence,
whether you continue reading,
in
whether
in
you
that
continue
sense,
reading, is explicitly mentioning the Father as the only true God and Jesus Christ whom you've sent, which is there's a distinction between the Father and the Son. So it's only highlighting the Father as the
absolutely.
only true God.
Absolutely, Halal. There's a distinction between the Father and the Son, but the distinction is not one in being. because they have both been shown to have the same nature and the same actions in verses that come before 17. So even sequentially, the distinction is in person. So when the Father is called the only true God, it is not in negation of the Son and the Spirit. The Father is the only true God, as is the Son, as is the Spirit. When we look at the persons, they are not separate gods. They are persons of the one God. So that sentence is proper to all persons, and
Then
it's
why
not a
is the word
negation.
only there?
When Allah, for example, is called the most merciful, that does not negate his other attributes.
Yeah, of course not.
Just because one is mentioned does not mean the others are invalidated.
Yeah, but it doesn't say he's only the most merciful. You see the difference? If it said
I
only the most merciful,
I understand, but understand here that what is being done is the person of the Father is being pointed out and glorified by the Son, but not to the negation of the Son.
the verse, if it says the only true God, and then makes a distinction with Jesus Christ, that's definitionally a negation.
Do you recall I told you that there's a distinction in persons? So that's fine. That still works for us.
So it's negating Jesus Christ as God.
There's no negation
How
occurring,
does that work?
and you can't show that in the text as a negation
One
occurring.
here and out the other, dog.
Because in just 2 verses lower, you're seeing that Jesus shares pre-existent glory. So unless you want to admit that something can share pre-existent glory with the Father that isn't God, then that's going to be another problem for you, not us.
Yeah, no, my claim isn't that the Bible never called Jesus God. I think it does hint to his divinity, right? No problem. Like
Logic, do you
exactly in
mind
the
just
super chat
pulling up the
for
verse
John,
again, just for 1 second, just to see number 5, 17:5.
like for John 5:20, 17 John 17:5. Like
Yeah,
they can all hint to Jesus
I know
being
you
God.
guys like jumping from 5 to 20. I talked to a guy yesterday about this.
No, I'm not trying to
Read it
jump. That's what the
sequentially.
super chat is saying. I'm just saying that like explicitly from John 17:3, it clearly negates Jesus Christ as being God and
There's
points to
no
the Father as
negation
being the
occurring.
only
You
true
haven't
God.
proven the negation.
All right.
That's
Well, let's do this then.
So
Well,
Thank
as
you
you
for
can
having me
see,
up here for a while.
as
I
you can
hope I'm
see,
not taking
as you can see, Halal.
apologize for
And now, Father, glorify me. This is verse 5. And now, Father, glorify me in your presence with the glory I had with you before the world existed. So, Halal, if there's a negation happening in number 3, where Jesus somehow isn't God because the Father is called the only God, then please explain how Jesus, while not being God, has pre-existent glory with the Father. How does that work?
Why do I have to explain that? If the verse is
Because
explicitly negating Jesus as God. No, there's no
be-
need for me to explain it. If
because
Jesus
no,
is being
there is
negated
a
as God,
case, Halal, because
then
it seems that the context of the chapter disagrees with your interpretation. So there must be something wrong with your interpretation.
the context being that because Jesus existed prior to the world existing, that
And
he's God.
shared glory with the Father, which in Isaiah we are told that God will not share with anybody else.
Yeah, so that just proves another contradiction. Like it doesn't.
Awesome job. Okay.
You see.
Thank you.
I hope you understand.
Thank you, Halal. Thank you, Halal. I understand your point, but your reading is what's wrong.
yeah.
Okay.
And,
Before I leave, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Sorry if I took up too
Not a
much of your
problem.
time. Great discussion. Thank you.
yeah, he's a Muslim, so they act like they can't get it.